There is a version of getting dressed that most men over 60 have quietly settled into without realizing it. The same few pieces on rotation, the same combinations, assembled the same way for occasions that feel roughly similar. Not because these men do not care how they look, they do, but because at some point the question of what to wear became something to get through rather than something to get right. The result is a wardrobe that functions but does not quite serve. Every day something gets put on, but very few days produce the feeling of looking exactly as sharp as the man wearing the clothes actually is. There is always a slight gap between the intention and the result, between what is in the wardrobe and what would actually work well for the day ahead. This video is about closing that gap, not by adding more complexity, not by buying more clothes, but by building 5 specific looks, each one complete, each one appropriate for a different type of day, that a man over 60 can reach for without thinking and know every time that what he is putting on will work. This channel is about classic menswear, timeless style and practical decisions that help men over 60 look sharp without overcomplicating things. These 5 looks are not fashion concepts, they are daily tools. Reach for them the way you reach for anything that always does its job. The first look is the everyday casual. This is the look for the days with no specific agenda, an errand run, a walk, a coffee with someone, a relaxed morning at home that becomes a relaxed afternoon elsewhere. The occasion is genuinely undefined, which is exactly why this look has to be so well calibrated. Too casual, and it looks like a man who stopped paying attention. Too structured, and it looks like someone trying too hard for a Tuesday morning. The formula is simple. A well-fitted polo shirt in a strong neutral navy, white, stone or dark olive, with 2 buttons open and sleeves that sit cleanly at the mid-upper arm. Dark straight-leg jeans or dark chinos, neither baggy nor tight, ending at the top of the shoe with a single clean break. Clean low-profile leather or suede trainers in white, grey or bone, not the chunky athletic type, but the kind that create no visual interruption between the trouser and the ground. 3 pieces. A consistent color relationship, dark on the bottom, clear neutral on the top, clean shoe to ground it, no decisions required on the day. The look always works because it is built on principles rather than trends, and principles do not expire. The second look is the smart casual. This is the most versatile of the 5 and the one most useful to get right because it covers the largest range of everyday occasions: lunch at a decent restaurant, a social gathering, an informal professional meeting, an afternoon with friends who might go anywhere. Smart casual is where most men get lost because it sits between defined categories, but it has a very specific formula when it is done correctly. The anchor piece is a structured jacket, not a formal suit jacket, not a sports team jacket, a field jacket, a Harrington jacket, a lightweight structured blazer, or a suede jacket, something that shapes the shoulder, defines the silhouette, and signals that a decision was made. Beneath it, a clean polo or open-collar Oxford shirt. Below, the same dark straight-leg jeans or chinos from the everyday casual look, now elevated to smart casual simply by the presence of the jacket. And on the feet, leather loafers or derby shoes, the same move that makes trainers look casual, making loafers look considered. This look is built on the layering principle. The jacket goes on, and the entire register of the outfit changes without any other element changing. That is the power of the right jacket at the right occasion. It is not about formality, it is about intentionality. And intentionality, at any age, is what sharp looks like. The third look is the weekend lunch. A slightly more specific occasion than the smart casual, it has a social context, often a restaurant or venue, and carries just enough weight to warrant slightly more thought. But it is still completely relaxed. This is not a black tie occasion, it is a Saturday afternoon with people who matter. This look builds directly from the smart casual. The jacket becomes slightly more considered, a structured blazer or a textured sport coat in navy, camel or charcoal, rather than a field jacket. The shirt shifts from a polo to a clean Oxford shirt worn open at the collar. The trousers stay dark and well-fitted, but may shift from jeans to a slightly more refined chino or wool blend trouser. And the shoe stays leather, either a polished loafer or a derby, but in excellent condition, because at this look level, shoe condition is the first thing that shows the difference between a man who got it right and a man who almost did. What distinguishes this look from the smart casual above it is not formality but refinement. Every piece is slightly more considered. The shirt is more structured than the polo. The jacket is more deliberate than the field jacket. The trouser is slightly more refined than the jean. None of these shifts are dramatic. Together, they move the whole look one clear notch upward. There is a specific detail in this look that most men overlook, but that carries significant visual weight: the open collar. A blazer or sport coat with a fully buttoned shirt reads as a different kind of occasion entirely, more formal, more constrained, carrying the suggestion of a tie even when no tie is present. But the same jacket over a shirt with one button open, the collar sitting naturally away from the neck, creates a relaxed elegance that is exactly right for a Saturday lunch. It communicates that the man dressed well for the occasion without treating it as more than it is. That balance, dressed well, not overdressed, is what the weekend lunch look is all about. The fourth look is the evening out. A dinner, a date, a drinks gathering, a family occasion with some ceremony. This is the look that most men over 60 either overcomplicate, reaching for something too formal, too stiff, too dressed up for the actual occasion, or underestimate, showing up at the right venue in the wrong version of smart. The evening out look occupies very specific territory, unmistakably sharp, completely relaxed, entirely appropriate. The navy blazer is the cornerstone. A well-fitted, structured navy blazer over a crisp white or pale blue Oxford shirt with one button open at the collar, dark, well-fitted trousers, either charcoal or dark navy, in a cloth with enough structure and drape to read as evening wear rather than day wear, chinos, and clean polished leather shoes, not trainers, not suede loafers at the relaxed end, leather, polished in dark brown or black. This look is the most powerful of the five because it does what all the best-dressed men understand implicitly. The navy blazer communicates that the man dressed for the evening. The open collar communicates that he is not stiff. The polished shoes communicate that he thought about the details. Together, they create an impression that reads as confident, masculine, and completely in control of how he shows up, which is exactly what Saturday evening or any important evening deserves. The fifth look is what we might call the sharp casual. This is the look that most men underestimate, a version of dressing that appears effortless but lands with more impact than many more elaborate outfits. It is the look for the man who wants to look sharp without any visible effort, who wants to walk into a room and be the best-dressed person there without anyone being able to identify exactly why. The formula is deceptively simple. A well-fitted merino crewneck or turtleneck in a clean, rich, neutral charcoal, deep navy, dark olive or camel. Dark, clean, straight-leg trousers, not jeans, actual trousers, because the fabric quality makes the difference here, in a shade that creates a clean tonal relationship with the knit above. And suede Chelsea boots or clean leather derby shoes in a complementary dark or warm tone. The merino is the critical element. Not an acrylic knitwear substitute that looks similar but pills, sits stiffly and develops a synthetic sheen. A genuine merino crewneck drapes over the shoulder with a soft, controlled weight that synthetic knitwear cannot replicate. It sits close enough to the body to suggest shape without clinging, and it photographs in a way that reads as quality without announcing it. Men who try this look with cheaper knitwear almost always find it falls short of what they expected, and the reason is always the fabric. This look works because of the absence of complication. No jacket to think about, no shirt collar to position, no layering decisions, just a clean, well-fitted knit with structure and quality, a pair of trousers that sit exactly right, and a shoe that finishes the whole thing. The impact comes entirely from the quality of each individual decision, the richness of the knit, the drape of the trouser, the cleanliness of the shoe. Get those 3 things right, and the look delivers more than most men expect from its apparent simplicity. Here is what connects these 5 looks and makes them a system rather than 5 separate outfits. They are all built from the same core palette: dark bottoms, clean neutral tops, classic leather or suede footwear. They all respect the same principles: fit first, proportion always, quality over quantity. And they all move through the same wardrobe, which means a man who owns the right foundation pieces can build any of these 5 looks without buying anything new. Dark straight-leg jeans that work in looks 1, 2 and 3. Dark straight-leg trousers that work in looks 3, 4 and 5. A polo that works in looks 1 and 2. An Oxford shirt that works in looks 2, 3 and 4. A merino crew neck for look 5. A field jacket for look 2. A blazer for looks 3 and 4. Clean trainers for look 1, loafers for looks 2 and 3, polished leather shoes for look 4, Chelsea boots or derby shoes for look 5, Chelsea boots or derby shoes for look 5. That is the complete system. A man who owns those pieces owns all 5 looks, and a man who owns all 5 looks never has to stand in front of his wardrobe wondering what to wear, because the answer is already there, already built, already waiting. The shift from managing a wardrobe to having a wardrobe system is one of the most significant and least dramatic improvements a man can make to how he presents himself. It does not require more money. It does not require more space. It requires only a clear understanding of which looks serve which occasions, which pieces build those looks, and how those pieces relate to each other in a coherent, consistent palette. Once that clarity exists, getting dressed stops being a problem to solve each morning and becomes what it should always have been, a quiet, automatic expression of exactly who the man is. A well-dressed older man does not own more clothes than other men. He owns better decisions, and decisions, once made correctly, do not have to be made again. The 5 looks in this video are those decisions, not once-off choices to be reconsidered each morning. Permanent solutions to recurring occasions, reached for automatically, worn with confidence, and producing the same result every single time. So here is what I want to know. Which of these 5 looks do you think you have already mastered, and which one does your wardrobe still need? Let me know in the comments. I read every one. If you appreciate practical, honest style advice for men over 60, subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we are going into exactly which wardrobe pieces make these 5 looks possible and how to build the whole system from scratch if you need to. You will not want to miss that one.